Shout out Near Falls with D Hall's podcast.
Welcome to Near Falls with D Hall. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D Hall. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. We're talking Near Falls with D Hall. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
All right, joining me now on the call, we have head coach of Bentworth High School, Mr. Mike Schrader. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Super pumped up to have you on, Coach. I'll be honest with you, first time having you on, but big fan of the Bentworth program. Obviously, a good friend of August Mizia and the Mizia family. And you guys have produced some great hammers the last couple of years and some current wrestlers that I really love. So, Coach, let's just get right into it, man. First time having you on the show. Talk to me about the Bentworth program and kind of where it's at in the state of Union.
Yeah, so, we went through a number of years, 7 or 8 years back, where we had a lot of low numbers, and then here the last 3 or 4 years, we've really gotten those numbers up to where, 2 out of the last 3 years, we started with over 30 kids, which is a great thing, to bring up, morale. It's great when you got a lot of kids out there. And I mean, we're a little lower this year, but we're kind of, at a point where we're kind of expecting a little bit more out of the kids. I got, August kind of ran my off-season program. I'd show up once a week with him. But, he's obviously a great young man, just incredible wrestling mind. And so the kids that started showing up started buying in. And so it's a smaller number this year, but definitely a very hard working group. Excited to get going.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit there, August, running your off-season program. Has that kind of been your primary thing before you get going into the season this year?
Well, I can be real honest. Up until I've had August, we've not had, a very steady off-season program.
Mm-hmm.
We've had kids that go to clubs or I'll run a once a week type of thing for a lot of years, and we just weren't getting big numbers. But I would say the handful of kids that August had regularly this year, they wrestled a couple of days a week, and then they went and lifted a couple of days a week, and some kids that never wrestled before have already come a long way. So it's kind of new territory for us.
Coach, talk to me about your schedule. I find that always to be an interesting question here with you guys. I know that, you've had some fantastic teams the last couple of years that have pushed to be, the top 4 to 6 teams in the WPIAL, but you've also had fantastic individuals. How do you balance that, and what's your schedule look like this year?
Well, I mean, to balance that, obviously, it boils down to, do you run a program that, hopefully makes these great young men and women, for that matter, and so you're not cutting corners. You're doing things the right way. You're not just catering to your best wrestlers. You're doing your best to make time to work with them all. It's something that I've tried to do for a lot of years. I've been at Bentworth now 18, and I coached at McGuffey and Peters Township before that. So, that's kind of the big thing, is trying to make time for all the kids and make them feel important and, involved. But particularly to the schedule, we have a very small team schedule this year because we are in 6 different tournaments, three of which are very difficult tournaments, very high-level competition. Panther Holiday Classic up in Mount Aloysius College.
Great tournament.
We're wrestling in Powerade again. We did 2 years ago. We had 3 guys that were blood rounders, which a lot of people might say that's nothing, but for a small school like ours, every one of those kids could have been the other way and been on the podium. But so, and then we wrestle at the Ultimate Warrior, which is up at West Branch out east. So a lot of tournaments. I think we wrestle 5 dual meets right now, 4 section matches, and then Mount Pleasant here at the beginning of the year on this Wednesday. We also have a couple points left out, but I wanted to kind of leave it towards the end of the season, if there is some chance that we might have a big, open spot between the end of team season and individuals.
Coach, talk to me about the leaders in your room. Who are you going to be leaning on to help, lead the squad, so to be?
Well, without question, Owen Ifsick, who was a returning WPIAL champion and, 3-time state qualifier. He hasn't placed, but he's right there. He just doesn't cut any corners. He's a grinder. He comes to work every day. But he also knows how to balance it. It's not like wrestling isn't everything, and he kind of epitomizes that. You come, you put a hard day of work in, but you also know how to have fun with it too, because at the end of the day, it should be fun. I mean, how do you balance that? Owen's that type of kid that does that. And then we have another fellow senior, Braden Taggart, who had some injury issues, but he was a regional qualifier a couple of years ago and won 2 matches at regional. So hopefully we have him back full strength. But those are the 2 guys that are kind of the leaders of our, program.
Coach, maybe on the other side of that coin, no one's going to sneak up on Owen Ifsick, or everyone kind of knows who he is as WPIAL fans. Give me someone that maybe WPIAL fans don't know right now, but by the end of March, we're going to know his name.
Well, I mean, we got a couple of freshmen that we'll see how they materialize. They've been really good through the youth. We have a kid from Charleroi who's a freshman, Bobby Lemley, who's a very good, very good wrestler. And he's I think he matured between 8th grade and 9th grade and is really taken to the things that we're trying to teach him and that. And so I think he's going to be somebody that to look out for. Drake McClure's brother, Brock, is a freshman, and he hasn't hardly missed a thing. August had a freestyle season for these kids, and it was a boatload of fun. It really got some enthusiasm going. They went on some fishing trips while they went to freestyle tournaments, but Brock was at all of those. So those are a couple guys for sure. And then I have a kid who was a WPIAL qualifier last year, Bryce Croson, who's gotten bigger and stronger, and I'm looking to see him kind of make some jumps.
Coach, obviously it doesn't take one man to run a program. It takes a bunch of people. Who's helping you out coaching staff-wise this year?
Well, I mean, I've had my junior high head coach, Albert Thomas, who at one time was the high school head coach. He's running the junior high. I got August and Francis Misha, 2 top-notch guys. It's just, and the kids respond well to them. They're younger, early 30s, and they're very well spoken. They get what it means, and what it means to wrestle and how that's going to affect kids' lives. So I got those guys. Mike McClure, who is the helper. My main high school assistant, Jeremy Ifsick, he brought this current group of kids through the youth, and so he's a very big integral part to where our program is right now, because he put a lot of time into the youth. But I have a number of other ones if you want me to name them.
Name them all, Coach. Every one.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have Chris Watson, who's been with the program a long time, with a youth coach. I have Mike McClure, Dean Matthews, who's a high school teacher who's coached around. He's coached at Ringgold. He's on my staff. Matt Maltunas, who also coached around. He's coached at York. I think he wrestled for Chartreuse, and been around a good bit. Good guy to have there. I got another guy coming on when he gets voted in, Johnny Johnson. Trying to think if I'm missing anybody. There's Owen Patricic, who's he's an assistant football coach at W&J, but it's, he has a little bit more time as our season gets going, and he's a young guy that can get in the room and the kids respond well to him as well.
I love that, Coach. Seems like you have a little bit of an army over there for such a small school, which is awesome.
Absolutely. And some people make jokes about it, but I really don't feel like it's anything different than football. You see people roll out with, a lot of football coaches. Wrestling is a very individual sport, so unless I have a lot of people to be going around the room and really working individually with kids, it is tough. But I will add that I think I've been taught by some people that came before me that were pretty wise, who said you have to get out of your own way. You can't be so have such an ego that you think you know everything. And so having a lot of different people with a little bit different mindset is a good thing, and August and them are very offensive minded, which is, that's a new age in wrestling, and it's a good thing, if you're losing at the end and you haven't taught a kid a bunch of different takedowns, then how can you be yelling at them to go shoot and score if you've done nothing but taught them to sprawl and go behind? So
I love that, Coach. Very, very cool. Okay, Coach, talk to me about room games. What do you guys get into over there at Bentworth? Dodgeball, kickball, handball? What's it look like over there?
Well, we actually play a lot of a game called handball.
Okay.
One-handed, it goes off the wall. There's a certain line that you have to be in front of, whatever off the serve. And we've got our own unique rules to it, but that's a big game we play. We will play some ultimate dodgeball from time to time, which is, it's not like you're out and then you have to wait for a new game. Our game is the moment the guy that got you out is out, you're back in. So it's kind of pretty much a never-ending game of dodgeball.
Sounds like a great warm-up, Coach, until you blow the whistle, right?
August loves to play ultimate frisbee, and actually we played about a week ago. I mean, it was nasty muddy outside, but the sun came out. We played ultimate frisbee outside, and when you're done, you just tell the kids to look at the scenery, because someday they'll remember those kind of moments. And I think me and August, we were playing harder than anybody. I thought that was one of your questions too.
That was my next question. Honestly, I was like, you get in there, Coach, and obviously you answered it for me. So that's great stuff, Coach. I love that. Sometimes you gotta show the coach why coach is coach, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Coach, give me a glue guy for your squad. Someone that you walk in the room, kind of everyone seems to gravitate towards this kid, puts a smile on your face. Give me a glue guy for the Bentworth program.
Oof. I hate to give too much kudos, but I think I can go back to the two leaders. It's
yep.
Both Braden and Owen are those kind of guys. I mean, but I will say without giving you a laundry list of guys, I think when you have a good group and you say glue guy, I think sometimes that glue guy is a different guy on any given day. When one guy who is that glue guy is having a bad day, if you can have 4 or 5 different guys who jump in and take that role, definitely a good thing.
Coach, give me your goals and expectations you have for this squad.
In terms of, if we're looking at wins and losses, and team stuff, I would have to say Jefferson Morgan is the, they're probably the team to beat in our section. We found a way to beat them last year. I think they were a little shorthanded, but we had some guys step up. We can compete. I think they're definitely the team to beat in our section, but we'll definitely compete hard with them. And that's just that. And we'd love to make the team tournament, but I think those kind of things will take care of themselves if we take care of our just normal expectation is. And I think, if you look at the top programs in the country, and I know that was a question in there too, it's hard not to do a good study of programs like Penn State and Oklahoma State and Nebraska, Cornell, those places like that. And they find ways to make sure there's no pressure. They find a way to handle that pressure in the right way and put, winning and losing in perspective, because I don't know anybody who's went through their whole life without losing. And so, I'd rather our kid lose but improve as a wrestler and as a person on the mat, on and off the mat, than than win, but do things the wrong way.
Coach, obviously the college season is just getting going here as we get into December. Talk to me about the alumni group you have over there at Bentworth. Obviously, you have a few guys doing some big things post high school.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously on the biggest stage D1 wise, I think right now we just have Chris Vargo, who's wrestling for Edinburgh, and just a super focused kid. He's wrestling lower than what he weighed his last year in high school, and that kind of is just a testament to his his ability to be consistent and just not take breaks too much. He stays consistent. And working on his nutrition and making sure that's all right. So he's able to be a 125 pounder in college, and he's had some really good results already to start the year. I think he won the Michigan State Open, and he was I think he was second somewhere else so far, but doing a great job. I keep in contact with him. Just super proud of the kid. And then we got a couple kids wrestling for W&J. Obviously, Vitaly Daniels transferred from Edinburgh to W&J. And a super great kid, big time. Both of the guys are big time role models of my youngest son. But they're doing well on the scene. I think Abe House, who is not really a household name, I guess it's a weird way to say it, but he just wrestled for. He was a workman-like guy. He's getting after it in the wrestling room over there at W&J. I don't think he's starting, but he at least is, getting the experience.
I love that, Coach. Okay, talk to me about, and this might be a tough one for you, as I've found as I've done this year. Social medias. How can we follow the squad this year?
I know. I want to say they just created a new Bentworth Facebook page.
Nice.
I do know that because I want to say there was a bunch of pictures that mysteriously disappeared, and so they just did a way of just reestablishing it. And I know that our boosters does a pretty good job. They'll show, they'll put up podium pictures, and how we did as a team on Facebook. In just a way to showcase the kids, and I'm glad that they do it because sometimes that's one thing that just kind of evades me. So,
Coach, you're not the only one. I promise you, my friend. I promise you. Okay, Coach. Last thing I have for you. Anyone or anything you want to shout out before I leave you go?
Actually, I do have a shout out for a couple of guys. Obviously, these are not guys that you might know, but Paxton Thomas and Leo Schrader. Leo is obviously my oldest son, but both of them were on the state championship soccer team, and they missed one day because practice started on.
I can tell it almost like bugs you a little bit there, Coach, but you had to let it go, right?
Yeah, they were away playing in the state championship, so and literally Monday they were at practice, not complaining, and I want to give them a break somewhere here in the holidays. That's a way to do it, so I think they're doing okay, but both of them are coaches' sons who have a high expectation. They may not be the best wrestlers we have, but they are grinders who come work every day, and us as dads, me and Albert are both real proud of those two. Drake McClure, who's our state place winner from last year, he's obviously a year-round wrestler who he's maturing beyond belief, as a person, nice. and so when your state place winner is somebody that other people want to be like, and you're happy with who that person is, that's a good thing as well. So I'm sure there's a lot of other shout-outs I could give. Great coaching staff, obviously Francis and August, just great guys. So a lot of people to give shout outs to, probably not enough airtime to do it.
Coach, I mean, listen, this is just the first year. We will have many years ahead of this to do all that. And my first time, I really enjoyed our conversation. And I'll see you a bunch out there. I'll see you guys probably at Burgettstown. And I don't know, do you guys go to Shark Houston at the beginning of the year?
We do for a multitude of reasons, but yeah, we haven't been and we're back again. So
cool.
But yeah, definitely come and find me. So I've seen it on the YouTube thing, but or whatever that was. But definitely introduce yourself to me. And like I said, the same. I'm not that big into these things, but I do appreciate you guys like you that put a spotlight on the sport.
Coach, you're the best, and I can't wait to see Bentworth do their thing this year.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Later.
Take care.